Punchboard Media,
where we all bring something to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.
Party Gamecast will show you what to play, giving you ideas when you don't know what to do or say. Party Gamecast, it's all fun and games, we'll show you new ideas to play. Party Gamecast, having fun is easy when you know what games to play. Party Gamecast will show you what to play, giving you ideas so you can party away.
Welcome to the Party Gamecast, featuring the Party Gamecast, a podcast about party games and games take to parties. I'm your moderator, Bruce. Joining me in the show is Rocki.
Hello.
Marty.
Hey.
Mike.
Hiya.
Brian.
Yo.
And also another and additional Brian.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's good to be back after a couple weeks.
It's nice to have you back.
Months.
It's nice to have you back after what in our time feels like weeks, but in real time feels like months, I think.
That's some real Star Trek II nonsense right there.
It very much is. In the multiverse.
Are we saving whales?
Paradoxical.
No, that's Star Trek, like...
4?
Oh.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Star Trek 4 is whales.
Because 3 was Spock.
3 was
2
saving
was
Spock.
Wrath of Khan.
4's
was
the
the-
voyage home. Yeah, because
Yeah.
at the end of 3, they get the Klingon ship, and in 4, they're in the Klingon ship when they go back in time.
Okay, there you
2's the only one that mattered anyway. So.
What's the one where Picard and
Nemesis.
Kirk meet?
Or something?
Generations.
Is that
Yeah,
Generations?
when
Okay.
they meet in the wave thing. Or
Okay.
whatever it's called.
Because that's the only one I care about, because Captain Kirk is the single great. Like, I don't even care about the other movies. I want him to specifically meet Picard and be better than Picard.
You
He dies, though. Spoiler warning.
spoiler alert on a 26-year-old.
I hadn't seen that.
Are you just trying to like elicit anger from the Picard crews over here?
What are you talking about? Why would I do that? Why would I intentionally?
Just
I
punch him,
assumed
Rocky.
you'd-
Do it. You know you want to.
I assumed
I
you'd like
can't
it.
reach.
It was all for the major role Guinan finally played in something.
She's so great. She is so great.
She is pretty great, but she
Yeah.
was not awesome in that movie.
No, but just in general.
No, she was great in the show.
Yes. But just, I'm trying to just think of happy.
Mm-hmm.
Happy.
Yeah. Yeah, don't think of her role in the movie
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
So, like, in the pantheon of captains, where does Captain Scott Bakula go?
Who?
Captain Scott Bakula.
No,
Exactly.
that's where he goes. is
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Who? What?
Yeah.
Because I know what it was Picard and Janeway and Captain Scott Bakula.
Cisco. Commander
Cisco.
Cisco, of
Cisco's-
course. Well, of course,
He's
Cisco.
commander, though.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's not captain, and
Yeah.
there wasn't a ship.
Or was he?
Well, there
Was he captain?
was. There was the
He's
Captain
Defiance.
Cisco.
Commander, I think, or something.
Well, when he had the
He
Defiant.
got
was he
promoted
captain?
towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got something. He's equivalent to a captain.
Yeah, this is happening, Bruce.
Yeah,
you
thank you.
started this.
Oh, I know. What I like to make sure is usually every time we start one of these, Rocky and I talk a little bit about wrestling, and then Brian's like, "Oh shoot, wrestling," and he jumps in, and then everyone else is quiet, and you get like a good solid 2.5 minutes of wrestling chatter. I was happy it's anything but wrestling chatter, but also not about board games or about food, which are the two things we're known for talking about.
I mean, do you want us to go off on like Star Trek rants?
No,
or-
I think that was pretty solidly done
'Cause
and
I have-
reined back in.
We
We
can
can
talk
talk about Star Trek food.
Yeah, I have
Yeah, we
opinions on
could.
Neelix.
I'm sure you have opinions.
No, I have strong opinions on Commander Chakotay.
Okay.
Oh, really?
What about Tom Paris?
He's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
That's about
somewhere
right.
I'm sure somewhere in the Inverse Genius Network they would love to do that spin-off with you where you talk about that for the whole episode of an Inverse Genius episode.
Tertiary characters in Star Trek Voyager.
Sounds great, but not here. Things that are great here, if we get this out November 1st, which maybe we do, maybe not the week of the 1st, maybe exactly the 1st. That's a thing that could potentially happen. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing Extra Life.
Oh my goodness.
Is it tomorrow? What is happening with time here? I'm
Remember,
not really,
weeks become months, days become
And
hours.
months becomes, hours.
That means we're playing games for a really long time.
It sure does.
24 to 5 hours.
Yeah, 24 to 25 hours, or 24 with a 1 hour rest break, which is how I will be doing it. as I do every year.
Yeah, we'll
I think
pretend
last
that
time
nap
you were
is 1
close for
hour.
like 20 or 30 minutes. Like, you just had a power nap, and you managed to get through it. That
Well,
last time.
last year I had to have 2 power naps.
Oh, was it 2 power
Yeah, I had
naps?
power nap number 1. I was like, I'm good. I got this. And I made it maybe an hour. And then all of a sudden, I started to, at the waist, hunch over like a 1960s robot that had been turned off. And then went back to sleep for another like 35 minutes. But if you'd like to support our team, go to extra-life.org. Look for the Party Gamecast or 3 Gear Games or Break My Game. We're all in one big team together. If you're hearing this and you're like, hey, my tomorrow is completely free for 24, nay, 25 hours.
Or really any fraction thereof. If
Yes,
you just want to stop by for, 15 minutes and hang out, that's fine too.
Yeah, that is always super clear. We always talk about like the whole iron person experience of it, but need not be there the whole time. You want to be there for 20 minutes and say, hey, by all means, we would love to have you. You want to stop by and play 1 or 2 games, please do at 3 Gear Games at Savage Mill. Used to be the family game store. Now the 3 Gear Games. Hey, that's a thing.
Now, if it is past, let's say, that date,
Yes.
because who knows when you're actually listening,
Then you need to rewind and skip forward over this part and not
Time
think of it.
travel.
or you could still sponsor us because the lines are open until the end of the year.
Yeah.
If you want to say, I think you did a great job. I didn't see it, but I think it was awesome. You should choose your favorite cast member and donate.
And all donations go to, is it Johns Hopkins Children's Center this year?
Yes. And for us, we always do the local one. If you want to join our team, you hear this early and you'd like to do it for one that's close to you, we certainly understand. At the end of the day, it's the Children's Miracle Network, although we do specifically support the Johns Hopkins Children's Hospital.
We're helping our community.
Yes.
Hashtag for the kids.
Hashtag for the
Yeah.
kids.
Hashtag for the kids.
Well, that's been 6.5 minutes. Thanks for listening. Let's get into something that we're known for doing. You know what it's time for, y'all?
What's the time?
What?
It's time for What the Food!
What is food?
Baby, don't
eat me.
hurt me
Nom, nom.
no more.
Nom, nom.
Every
No.
episode.
I like it. I like it, Brian.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice fix.
Yeah.
One thing I want to note, I want to thank all of our Patreon backers at patreon.com. You can go there and back us. And one of the things we've been able to do, because we crossed one of our backer levels, was to just get a whole bunch of food from Japan. So first thing I want to do is this, is I want to thank one of our major sponsors, Power to the Meeple, powertothemeeple.com. They have a show. Mike's giving you the power fist. They help shows like ours. They have fantastic prices on games. They help charity. We talk about it every time. Go check them out and tell them, hey, I did it because I heard about you on Party Gamecast. That would be awesome. We also want to thank our What the Food sponsor, and I always want to pull up their information because I don't want to say it wrong. We want to thank Yarrington's Yark Yurt. If you can find a corner, go for it.
Wow.
Yarrington's Yark Yurt, ladies and gentlemen.
Two
Yar-
jokes
the,
in
yeah,
one.
I think that's why I always read these. I always make sure I'm looking square at them. Yarrington's Yark Yurt.
Okay.
Do yurts have a lot of corners? I
No,
thought
they
were
don't.
round.
But if you can
Zero.
find one, you go for it.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
go for it.
It's round on the outside, square on the inside.
Oh, okay.
It's like me. I'm round on the outside, but I'm square on
Too
the
hip
inside.
to be square.
Yeah.
Oh.
So once again, thanks to all that Patreon support, we were able to get a whole bunch of really cool, strange to us Japanese snacks. So,
Yes.
Rocki, talk to us a little bit about what in the world we're doing on What the Food.
So all of these are obtainable if you go to japanhall.com. And maybe that's our next sponsor. That would be amazing. I just thought of that.
Yeah, please.
That's japanhall.com.
Now they are not a sponsor right now.
Nope.
But
Like
you know,
Pringles.
but you know who sends out amazing Japanese food? Rocki, who is it?
japanhall.com.
That is true.
I think what you mean is they're not a sponsor yet.
That is exactly what I mean.
It's
But
the
you know,
phrasing.
you know who is a sponsor? Power to the Meeple at powertothemeeple.com.
Nice.
Mike's giving the piece, or Mike's giving the power
was
fist,
not a
because that's what you're
piece.
supposed to. You're right, because it's not peacetothemeeple.com, it's powertothemeeple.com. Great games, great prices. They help people, but let's talk about food.
So I went a little crazy, I'll be honest. Because,
A
crazy enough that it was 3 gigantic boxes that they would not deliver to us, and I had to go to the post office with a hand truck.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know this story.
Real story.
Yeah.
Real
Wow.
talk, y'all.
And there is a thought at some point. It's going
Yes.
to take a while, but this is part of what we promised
So we have
at
to
that level.
Carve out a place to do this.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that have to happen, but Rocki and I are at some point going to do Rocki and Bruce's ramen reviews. Ramen reviews.
Because there is like a box and a half of instant ramen, and I'm so excited. I'm trying to fight the urge to just eat it in a corner with nobody watching. Just me.
Well, you
Ramen
know,
reviews.
we're going to
Yes.
be sequestered for about 24, 25 hours,
Oh,
and I'm sure we could get some hot water.
that is true. That is
Ramen
true.
reviews. We could have guests.
Oh,
Yeah.
Would you like to ramen with us? Sure.
Oh, we'll have to set that up.
So our first round of Japanese snacks, of who knows how many, are 3 sets of Pringles. Why Pringles, you may ask?
Hey, Rocki. Why Pringles?
Oh, because there are flavors in Japan that we cannot obtain in the United States.
Unlike
I
that
find
one.
that hard to believe since we are in the United States and we've obtained them.
Well, there's only one way to make that happen.
We're talking legally,
But you need a hand truck.
Brian.
Wait a minute.
Apparently.
There's only one way to make that happen, Rocki, and that is through who?
JapanHall.com.
I feel like there might be some other way.
Stop it. JapanHall.com.
You could always go to Japan.
Hall.com.
Then you,
That'd be the most expensive Pringles.
yeah.
Anyway, so the first one in my hand I ordered because it was hilarious. It is new nacho cheese flavor Pringles. Now,
None of that old nacho cheese flavor.
no,
Yeah.
it is new with an exclamation
And also,
point.
how Japan of them. Nacho cheese, just what I think
Yeah,
of when I think
exactly.
of the Japanese
Well,
culture.
it does say "Hola" from Mexico on it in Japanese. I use Google Translate.
Nice.
Yes. Now there is an image of a Pringle chip in a
There's a
sombrero.
lot to make. Like,
Yes.
I-
So it's a
how
chip.
do you get Ola
Yes.
from?
I'm
Like,
wondering-
Well, it says
What's-
"Hola" in Spanish. Well,
Oh, okay.
in
I was like, what's the kanji
English?
for Ola?
okay.
yeah, it says "Hola," and then the rest is in Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not in Spanish because there's only one exclamation point.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Where was I? Oh, yes. There's a Pringles chip on it in a sombrero playing a guitar made of a wedge of cheese standing behind a bowl of melted cheese with more chunks of cheese falling into it. So cheese.
I think that's supposed to be actual Pringle that's playing the guitar.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to open this little can. They're not huge full-size cans. So we
Now
have to
remember,
pace
once you
ourselves.
pop, you can't stop, right?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I believe we're going to use now Mike and I like to quote the old Pringles theme. Once you pop, that's great. If you don't know about Pringles, check those out.
Good luck.
smells like Pringles. You
Yeah,
know
I
that-
don't think you could expect it to completely change its stripes.
No, but you know that kind of canny potato smell, but it doesn't really smell of cheese.
I think
It
it's
doesn't
probably
smell
the
like
It's lightly
canned
of cheese.
it's
You
probably
definitely get this cheese smell. Yeah.
Oh.
It
It's
smells
subtle.
like old nacho cheese kind of
I
thing.
think these are smaller.
Yeah, they
I
are.
mean,
They're a
because
little smaller.
Americans make everything huge.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason for
But
that.
it's Pringles. Like, it's an American company. This is not some.
So they went overseas and made them smaller on purpose,
Yeah.
yes.
so that ours are still the biggest.
Also-
Maybe in Texas they're even slightly bigger.
Oh no.
I can't.
And
we have
wait,
to compare.
are they twice as big in Alaska just to piss the Texans off?
Yeah, but they don't like to talk about it as much.
Good
So
work, everyone.
I'm taking a bite into this, and it's just a cheese Pringle.
Yeah, it does taste like vaguely nacho cheese.
Now,
but basically
you're saying
cheese.
we couldn't have obtained this in the United States?
Yes.
except
as far
that we
as I
did.
know.
I feel like I may have had this before.
Yeah.
Except it didn't have Japanese writing on the
Yeah.
Yeah, it might just be cheddar cheese Pringles or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although
it's
not really
not as-
cheddar.
I'm not getting a very Olaf from Mexico vibe.
No.
Yes.
And it's not very festive as the little chip on the can.
I don't taste any sombrero.
I don't
No.
taste any Japan.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, I
though.
think this is about as bland as you can get a nacho cheese chip.
Yeah, normally I like to say these are the best snacks you can get in a tennis ball can, but I don't think that they are.
I mean, like, especially
No.
with the fact that you can get, like, nacho cheese Doritos or Cheetos that are very cheese flavored, right? Even though it's artificially flavored and weird. This just tastes like nothing. With like a vague, like it waved by a vat of cheese as someone
So,
just held it above for half a
Did
second.
you? Which direction was the chip facing? Because there was only powder on one side. So if you
Oh.
had the concave side up, then you probably didn't taste it.
We're Pringles people.
we are
know how to do this.
But I'm saying,
professional
like,
chip eaters.
had to
We know you
turn
have
it
to eat
upside
it
down.
the correct
You guys
way.
didn't do like the roll in the mouth to get all of
You could
at the
also
same
do
time?
that.
Yeah. It still tastes like nothing.
I got some cheese on it.
No,
Not
yeah,
a
I got
lot.
a little
It's
bit of
just
cheese.
not very
It wasn't
nacho-y,
bland, it was
and
just-
I don't know why you have to go to Japan for something. That
Here's what I think
tastes
we
like
can safely
cheese.
do. Hey, are you taking this to a party? 3, 2, 1.
No.
Okay, let's move on to our next Japan-based Pringle snack product.
So the next 2 cans are special 30th anniversary Pringles cans. Ooh. This one is chicken soy ramen.
I'm
That's
in.
right.
Is this your first
This is-
episode of Rocky and Bruce ramen reviews? For
It
him?
might be.
Yeah, this might be ramen reviews. Ramen reviews. Rocky
Ramen
and Bruce. Ramen reviews.
So when
Wow.
you need a break from all the noodles, have some chips.
That's
and you're
right.
still ramening.
Okay.
When the salts become too much.
Oh, these aren't salty? These extruded potato chips?
Uh-oh.
That's a face.
Sorry,
Oh.
it's very soy front. To the there's just soy in my
I
nose
think the
now.
honesty's too much this time.
Oh.
Can you hold me?
Oh.
Yeah, it's
My word.
it is very soy.
Yeah, that is super soy.
Chicken soy ramen.
Yeah.
These are also, I believe, 30th anniversary flavored, right? Do we think we have a solid idea what that tastes like? Whoa, they are very soy.
Aren't they?
Oh my word.
Yeah, it just smells like you just spilled some soy sauce.
Yeah.
You spilled
Okay,
too much
I'm
soy
excited.
sauce.
It tastes like you spilled some soy sauce too. It is all soy all the time.
That is delicious.
That's really good.
That I like this, but it also tastes like I'm eating a bouillon cube.
Yeah, it tastes like soy with like a hint of bouillon cube for, I guess, the chicken.
Yeah.
Like if you just took one of those flavor packets from a ramen and
Yeah.
ate it directly.
But that is very fun.
Yeah, that is wonderful.
It is very tasty.
Yeah.
It delivers exactly what it promised on the can.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
The flavor powder makes them all kind of slightly browner.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the thing.
You don't look at it; you just eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Yeah,
Good.
that's
You
very
like that?
Yeah, I did.
Very good.
I'm glad we decided to do the nacho cheese first because I feel like we're at least heading in a positive trend right now.
And then we have one more.
Wait, you
So much for
you
that positive
forgot.
trend.
Bruce,
Yeah.
would you take it to a party?
Oh, that one definitely.
There you go.
No one else gets any of this. This is mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm eating this all myself and taking
it-
the nacho cheese ones to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it made it there, but it's delicious. and
It's a
other people should have
long
it.
car ride to the party, man. I can
Well, you
only
gotta go
promise a
to-
certain amount.
Japan and back. There's a lot of snacking on that flight.
That's true.
I don't know. I think that it's one of those things where they're very tasty, but I can see myself getting tired of them very quickly. Also,
That's why I think you could safely bring that tiny can to a party. Everybody get a couple and be like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, by the third one, there's only so many in there, but everybody only wants about 3, so you're good.
All right, so we have one more.
Okay.
It is yakisoba flavor. Now, yakisoba is like fried noodles.
Yep.
So, having not eaten yakisoba recently, we'll see what that tastes like.
Yeah, I'll have to see. It just,
Alright.
if it's a flavor that we find generally positive.
I think there might be a little more to it than just yakisoba, judging by the iconography on the side of the.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a little like silhouette
Yeah.
of a squid.
this one got
Yeah.
shook up, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't describe that smell. I need help.
All shook up?
Kind of spicy-ish?
Oh,
Maybe?
That was for you, Bruce.
I know. You know how much I love Elvis Presley.
You do love that guy.
I
He's
sure do.
It's the king of
pop.
rock and
That's-
roll.
King of rock.
Yeah, we visited Graceland together. That's how
We
much you
did.
love him.
Yeah.
See, what does that smell? Nobody can identify it. Everyone kind of sniffs it and looks
it's
confused.
like something you find in the spice drawer, but you're not really quite sure what it is.
Yeah.
An unlabeled spice mix.
From like 1974 or
I don't.
What?
See?
I have
yeah,
a few of those.
It is just puzzling.
I know.
pretty sure they a bunch of those in my grandmother's pantry. So
Yeah,
I
don't-
understand.
Maybe they're
I don't
trying
know
to
what
get-
that is. It's like 2 things that I almost recognize.
Wow, I'm so excited to get this so I can play along.
It's kind of like fried vegetable-y, maybe.
But it's sort of sweet
Yeah.
smelling. I haven't eaten it yet.
See?
See?
Bruce had the same.
Bruce did a
Yeah.
double take.
It's like, here's what I'm gonna say. It's a mix of lemon iced tea mix.
What?
I'm 100% on point.
No.
You're making stuff up.
No,
Yeah.
it's lemon iced tea mix and like some sort of a spice rub.
Dear listeners, no.
I mean, I could see like powdered ketchup or something. Sort of. I don't know. Let's see what it tastes like.
I get you, Bruce.
Yeah. But it's
It
the
is
one
the-
that has lemon in it. It's not just
Oh, yeah.
iced tea mix. It is the lemon iced tea
Now
mix.
that you say it, it is
Yeah.
exactly that.
It's lemon iced tea mix and something else.
tastes.
It's like ketchup.
I would say
soy.
tomatoey to me. It tastes like.
Yeah.
It does. It tastes like ketchup, a little bit like ketchup.
Like ketchup, soy,
I can
and
totally-
a little bit of like spice on the end.
It doesn't have the vinegariness of ketchup. There's a little bit of
Well, it's like
tomato.
Yeah,
but
it is definitely tomato.
Yeah.
It tastes like if you made a broth that was like one of those thin tomato broths, not like the one in minestrone that
Yeah.
happens. Not a tomato soup, but like a broth that has tomato in it.
Yeah.
No, I think this is very pronounced tomato.
I mean, there's definitely tomato, but yeah, I don't know. It's tomato and like a little soy and I don't know whatever, probably
That's fun.
something squiddy.
I
from
like
whatever
that though.
Yeah, I
I
really
don't taste
enjoy
anything
it though.
squiddy.
Yeah.
Like they say,
But-
there's squid. Or there's a picture of a squid
No,
on the side.
I
but
think
don't
that's just noodles.
There's a caricature of a
And
squid.
I'll tell you
on
what,
the
I'm
outside.
going to use Google
Well,
Translate.
we
on the
assume
ingredients. I'll let you know.
it's squid because the other one had a picture of a chicken on it, but I think it might be just characterized noodles.
It looks like a characterized squid. If Mario over the years has taught me anything in the underwater levels,
It's kind of a chibi squid.
yeah, it is a chibi squid. So let's go around while Rocky's taking a look to see what it's made out of. Would you take it to a party, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it as much as the previous one that we did, but I still dig it. It's certainly way better than that nacho cheese one.
Plus, it's novel as heck.
Yeah, if you're like, oh, what are your chips made of? Cheese? Oh, Dorito Ranch, whatever. We have yakisoba chips. Like, you're going to get a lot of eyebrows raised at that, and people are going to be like, you know what? I'll try these.
Indeed.
It's great.
Brian?
I'm kind of with Brian on this. They're fun. I like the second one's better, but I also like that flavor is intense, and this I think I could eat more of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's fun. I don't think anyone's going to freak out, but no one's probably had a chip that tastes like it. So yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things that you have to bring along if you've got it, because you want other people to experience this too and have that puzzled look on their face when they smell it and go, "What is that? That is, it's right there, like on the tip of your tongue. Like you've smelled something similar before, but you can't quite place it."
It is a whole experience, at least like for my palate, because yeah, you can't exactly identify it.
No.
So, looking at Googling this a little bit, the yakisoba Pringles, it actually does list it as Pringles Squid Yakisoba.
There you
Huh.
go.
So it does say, experience the flavor with squid.
I don't experience this flavor with squid.
Yeah, there's nothing even remotely seafoodish.
No, there's no fish sauce kind of briny thing going on here.
So, Marty, how about you?
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation piece.
I totally agree. Rock?
Only if I bought enough to keep some at home for myself.
Agree, because this is fantastic. Like,
Yes.
I wish we had more of this to take to people, because this is fun.
Yes.
These both have been a lot of fun. The nacho cheese, I agree, I'm not feeling.
No, it was much more boring than the package would lead you to believe.
Yeah.
But the rest are very fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Indeed.
the other two are fantastic.
Yeah, the 30th anniversary flavors are wonderful. We just want to really quickly once again thank Yarrington's Yark Yurt. If you can find a corner, go for it. For sponsoring this
Suppose
What
you
the
could
Food.
use the center pole.
I mean, if you can make what is a reasonable corner, I believe Yarrington's Yark Yurt will allow you to, and I quote, go for it. We also want to thank Power to the Meeple, powertothemeeple.com. Fantastic show, fantastic website. We'll be back in just a minute to talk about our game of the show, Charty Party. Hey everybody, Bruce here, reminding you about our Patreon at patreon.com. I'm sure you've heard about it, but I'm going to remind you again because we are supported by listeners like you. If you go over to Patreon, patreon.com/Party Gamecast, if you support us at $2 a month, you're going to get an episode of What the Food that we do just for you over there a month and a half before it comes to the main feed in the mid-month cavalcade half an episodes that we put out. If you support us at $5 a month, you're going to get a Patreon party episode. So another game that we're going to talk about every month. Once again, a month and a half before you'll get it here on the main feed. If you support us at $10 or more, we're going to say your name on the air just like these fine folks here. We want to thank you, Ross Drossett, Stephen Quaid, Jerry Reese, Daryl Hutchins, Mike Cooper, and Power to the Meeple at powertothemeeple.com. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you, all of you, for your support. You are the reason that we have a new visual look. You are the reason we have new microphones, and eventually, a new mixer for our new microphones. You are the reason we can get new content, new stuff. We can get brand new games and cover them, like we have on this particular episode you're listening to, whatever episode that may be. I'm sure we covered new stuff that we were able to get because of you. So we thank you so much. We've crossed $150 a month in support, so that means that Rocki and I will be making a little bit of video content. We're getting some snacks in, and we're going to talk about those. At $200 a month, if we can get there, the entire Party Gamecast is going to make an episode on the main feed about all the games we would fill a board game bag with. So if you have one of those large instrument bags or one of those bags from boardgametables.com, we're going to tell you what we would actually fill that with. So rather than do a top 10 list, we're going to give you a little bit of information we hope you can use. And if you feel like what we do here on the show is something you can use or something you want to listen to, please take the time to support us at patreon.com/partygamecast. And let's get you back to your episode. Welcome back. We're about to talk about our game of the episode. Now, I understand that apparently I'm not enunciating this well enough. Enough people have told me this. CHARTY party. A party of charts.
That's
With charts.
Charts.
Like diagrams?
Yes.
Charts. Yeah, okay.
A chart party.
Diagram,
A
right?
graph, if
Yes.
you will.
Yeah.
Quick note before we jump into this. Number one, the fine folks at CHARTY Party sent this copy over. Because most of the games that we get that we talk about, we do pick up ourselves whenever we have one that comes from somebody else. I just want to let you know that it did, and this is one of those cases. Also, I think part of what influenced this is a thing that I just think is kind of a really neat idea if you're the right person, which is something called PowerPoint karaoke, where as a party night, each person writes like a small PowerPoint presentation they're going to give about a thing they care a lot about.
What?
Yes. So, like, I might give a PowerPoint presentation about the different villains from the 1960s Batman movie.
Oh,
What?
goodness.
Yeah.
So this is a thing people do for fun and not because, like, weapons are trained on their loved ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, so apparently I'm the only one with real enthusiasm for this idea.
We're
As
very
someone that
surprised.
makes PowerPoint presentations way too often,
Yeah.
you're in a minority here.
Yeah. And honestly, when you said PowerPoint karaoke, I'm just assuming you're given a PowerPoint, don't know what it is, and have to figure it out. Like,
Yeah,
you
pretty
just flip
much.
through the slides and have to guess at what you're presenting.
That
Like,
also...
no words,
that
just
would
pictures.
almost
Yeah.
be more entertaining.
That's actually what the PowerPoint karaoke that I'm aware of. I've
Oh,
seen
well
that
then,
happen.
then what is the other one? So then maybe that is PowerPoint karaoke, and there's another one that's presentations that has a different name.
That's just called being a giant nerd.
Okay.
That's the
It might
modern
be,
version
yeah.
of, like, I brought slides from my trip to the Grand Canyon.
Okay, so then I mixed up being a giant nerd with PowerPoint karaoke, which sound virtually the same to me. When I heard about that, I was like, hey, somebody should gamify that thing. And then I heard about CHARTY Party.
That's CHARTY
You sound
party.
like a 10th grade English teacher.
Yeah,
I know, well, I need to, because if I don't, then people are like, Bruce, it doesn't sound like when I didn't hear chart the same way you said chart.
Yeah, you got to practice your diction. and
That's
your
what I'm working on. I'm
elocution.
working on my diction and elocution.
Sells seashells by the seashore.
The
Doesn't know what I-
Human Torch was denied a bank loan. So,
All right.
I'm so done. Oh my God.
How now, brown cow?
no, you know what? Let's just jump over to Marty. Marty,
All right, well, it's one of these card games that's in kind of the family of Apples to Apples and Cards Against Humanity, where you have one card that kind of sets up the situation, and then you play other descriptor cards on it. Except the card that sets up the situation for here is an actual chart with usually the X graph stating something like maybe age or time of day or religiosity. That goes from atheist, agnostic, Sunday brunch, Bible camp to the Pope kind of stuff. So that kind of range. And then each player places a card, like some of them have like strong feelings about the pronunciation of GIF, loudness of gym grunts, that kind of stuff. And then you match the card to the graph. You have one person being the judge, and then they pick the winners, and that is pretty much it.
For nerds out there, you're actually trying to put the y-axis on
Yep.
the chart,
Yeah.
and you're given an x-axis, values on the x-axis, and a trend of a line that can go up. It can be positive trend, negative trend, anything like that. So you're trying to actually
they're
match
different
the
shapes
y-axis.
of the graph. Yeah.
Yeah, for the less nerdy, that's the vertical one that you're picking, and the horizontal one is the one that's provided.
And for even less nerdy, and then in the middle a squiggly line is drawn.
There's a squiggly line, and there are 2 colors, and there are some words.
The dependent
Yeah.
versus the independent variable,
Exactly.
if you will.
Yeah. No, as a nerdy person, I still sometimes forget X and Y. I know which is like the important one, but I sometimes forget which is X and which is Y, even though I graph a lot for work. You're welcome.
I'm not a player. I just graph a lot.
Are we in the awkward
You
phase
chart
again?
You chart a lot for work, is what you're saying.
I make presentations and
But do you
graphs and
party at
things.
work?
No.
So just CHARTY, no party?
There's charties.
And no parties.
Yeah.
So let's jump in, because basically this is, to boil it down, everyone said it's Cards Against Humanity with charts. So how do we feel about this? I'm going to start, since you described the game, Marty. How did you feel about Cards Against Humanity, but also with charts?
Actually, I really like this game because it kind of feeds on that little nerdiness that most people who play these kind of games have already.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit more risque than Apples to Apples, which I think was a little missing there, but it's not kind of like in your face like Cards Against Humanity are. So it's one of those things where you can play it with almost any group, and then you can make it blue and or dirty as you want it, but you don't have to do it.
Absolutely. They put ages 17 plus on the box. And I would say some of the cards that are in there are definitely in the 17 plus range. All of them certainly are not. I would say you probably take, oh goodness, if you're incredibly conservative, probably about half the cards out. If you're just like a person, probably 25% of the cards out, and you'd be all right. Rock, how do you feel about this one?
I enjoyed this a lot. I didn't think I would. I thought that, I don't know, it would be all potty humor and just the same thing we've seen before.
It wasn't all potty humor.
No, it was...
There was definitely
was
some potty humor, though.
on the edge of naughty, but not as, oh no, as a lot of other games we've played.
And
So,
also, in addition just to like potty humor and even sexual humor, there's like some political humor in there as well. There's a little science humor.
Yeah, there's adult stuff just simply because kids wouldn't get it. Like there's the political stuff, and I mean, kids just they don't know who Ted Cruz is.
Plus, kids don't chart often.
Yeah. I mean, the charts and the fact that like it's not necessarily dirty. It's just stuff adults would talk about.
Yeah, and I would say that that's all relatively true there. And I know we talked about, I reached out to the fine folks at CHARTY Party for a copy of this, and then I told all of you I did it. And everybody was like, what are you thinking? Why are you taking a game that's doing that? It's Cards Against Humanity but thing, Bruce. You've learned this is a bad idea. We've done enough of these on the show. We're positive this kind of thing can't work. And I think it's done a surprising job, exactly what you were talking about, Rock. Like, it's a little dirty without being filthy. Some of it is downright clean, and a lot of it is just adult talk, but for no other reason than because if you were 11, you just wouldn't be interested.
So for me, this game, it lies somewhere between Cards Against Humanity and Adliners. We reviewed that. Cards Against Humanity is like made to try to be really, really dirty, raunchy, filthy, right? This one can cross that line, but it doesn't have to be, and it's in a similar vein with Adliners, where now it adds a different element. Like this adds a chart. That added a picture from a really cheesy, campy 1980s
campaign,
commercial and a bunch of different ad lines, right? So I really enjoyed this game. I think I like it more than Cards Against Humanity just because of that added chart aspect, and because I can play this with more people. Like, I'm not going to be afraid to play this with, relatives that may not like the sexual humor as much in Cards Against Humanity or something like that. You're right. I may have to take some of the cards out.
Yeah.
But you can kind of span a wider age range and a wider view set in this. I won't say I like it as much as Adliners, but I definitely enjoyed playing it a lot more than I enjoyed Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, I think they have done some things here really, really well. One of them being like they've written the joke for you the same way that Cards Against Humanity wrote the joke for you. But yeah, I agree. A lot of the Cards Against Humanity stuff is kind of like a cannonball to the gut in sometimes the best and sometimes the worst possible way, where you're just like, I cannot believe someone thought that, then said it, then got it approved by a room of people, then they sent it to a printer, then the printer put that on a card, and then they shipped it to Target and then sold it to me. Like,
and then I, not realizing that, had to explain it to someone's grandmother.
yeah. And then you're like, oh my word. Yeah, this one, I don't think there's too many cases where I would be flat out embarrassed to bring it out. Whereas there have been times in Cards Against Humanity, back before I kind of swore it off, to where I was like, oh, what am I even doing here? Like, those were the experiences that made it so I swore the game off, where I'm like, oh, this is just, no, what are we even doing? Why is this a thing? None of those moments did I have in playing this. There were some, like, sexy, dirty moments and some, but, like, there was nothing that, like, I felt completely terrible about while I was doing it. And I know that Cards Against Humanity warns it's a terrible game for terrible people, but, like, that's not good. That's not what we should aspire to be. This game, I think, can sit in that same space, and I don't feel bad. I don't feel like there is anybody that couldn't say I was playing the game, or like, look at what Bruce wrote on these cards. Look at what he thinks. Like, there's nothing I would be that offended to have on here, but it's still, like, fun with adults.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to me, the way I would describe it is Cards Against Humanity and a lot of the Cards Against Humanity clones, because there are a million of them,
Yeah.
they're trying too hard. In Cards Against Humanity, I'm not trying to knock what it was when it first came out. Like, it was revolutionary.
Yeah.
No one had done that before. But going back and playing and having played other stuff, it kind of drops off, because it's just like you're trying too hard to make the, like, you're trying to be offensive. Like if you watch a stand-up comedian who's just says offensive things to substitute for making jokes, versus a comedian who's funny and happens to be dirty. But they're funny first and dirty second. And I think that's where this goes. It's not really dirty, but, like, if it needs to touch on an adult subject to make a funny joke, it will. But it's the joke first. And, other games lead with the dirty and the funny follows. And I think this is kind of backwards, because, like, I was in the camp of, why would you even buy this? Like, I'm not even going to lie. When you announced this, I was like, okay, I mean, I guess I will, because I like the podcast, but I have no interest in this. And I played it, and it's super fun. I really like it. Won me over completely. So, I don't know. It just, what it does really well. And there's a million Cards Against Humanity clones, and a lot of them are not great, to be honest.
And I think this one does stick out amongst all of the War Cards Against Humanity but games.
Say, wasn't
Yeah.
Shindig Machine a clone?
I don't know that one.
Oh no, that was forever ago. It was just dark pictures of sad things.
We can
And
show it to you. I think it's in the glass
I
case
think
over
I
there.
finally got rid of it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I want to say maybe that went to, like, something to raise funds for something, I think.
I hope so.
I think maybe last year I put it up for Extra Life.
Okay.
In the bring and take that we do.
I like the fact that there's the visual aspect to the game too, as opposed to just the cards, because the mechanic is 100% identical to Cards Against Humanity, right?
Yeah.
One player judges, everybody else puts in a card, and then you go until best of 5 or first person to 5. But just having that little visual aspect where you can see the different trend lines and kind of visualize what's going on, it makes it, just pushes it ahead of Cards Against Humanity, because otherwise that's just like, okay, I'm trying to take a sentence and add a word to it, right?
Yeah, and I think, like, every one of these games is going to try too hard in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's, we're muggles against humanity, so you're like, oh, well, you have to be filthy and also Harry Potter. Oh, good, you're working real hard. Or Cards Against Humanity is like, we're going to be filthy as hell. You're like, oh, good, that's the thing you're going to do. And then somebody else is like, we're going to be filthy, we're going to make you do a dare. Why don't you do something in somebody's mouth? And you're like, that's disgusting, game. Why are you doing that? That's horrible. Wow. You're trying so hard.
There couldn't possibly be a game that would make you do that.
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, and then, but this game's like, we're going to try hard by giving you a chart. And I do agree at first, you're like, what? That's how you're going to try hard? Really? That's how you think, that's what you think the move is? And yes, they do. And I think they hit it pretty solidly.
Oh, yeah,
here.
they knocked it out of the park. It's great.
Yeah. Mike, what are your feelings on this one?
I like it. My only concern is that it doesn't look like there is a huge deck of charts there.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how much replayability it has. What's in the box is good. It's just a question of how many times you can play it, because it's not a real big one. This is not like one of those huge long boxes full of Cards Against Humanity cards. It's got a couple of stacks of regular sized cards that are the orange, the descriptor cards, and then there's a relatively small stack of this big white wide chart cards. And I think the relative sparsity of the chart cards is going to be an issue after a while.
But I have a feeling, assuming things go well, it won't be for long.
Yeah, I have a
Right,
feeling
well,
expansions.
You can
yeah.
always expand it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what's in the box there?
Yeah, there's 44 chart cards and 250 topic cards, but I think this game will get expansions because it is that much fun. And
Yeah.
so if you start getting bored, just wait for the expansion.
And it'll be very easy to make like some sort of niche specific chart.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
you could
but-
easily do like a science-based one or a Star Trek-based one or something. You could easily add those kind of
Oh,
things.
Or a
Yeah.
quality of Party Gamecast episodes from 1 to, what are we at, like 90?
From 1 to 90. And then there's like a sharp spark in the 40s, and then it
Yep.
plummets all the way to the ground, and then
Yep.
it slowly builds up and plummets to the ground again. It could be like
And then
it's
there's
almost like a
just
heartbeat.
a discontinuity for 2 years.
Yeah, and then it's just flat.
It's a
and
really slow EKG, right?
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think the possibility to make new charts for this, is going to be a lot of fun. I do imagine it takes a little bit of writing to make those work, but if more can happen, I think it's fantastic. I would guess, we solidly played this, and it was fun, and I think you could probably get, the same group of people could probably get 4 or 5 games out of this before you started to say, like, I think I'm starting to see it all. Unfortunately, like any of these comedy games, and we used to talk about this even with Cards Against Humanity at its prime, is that you got a couple games out of them and you were like, I've seen all the stuff about Mexican black tar heroin. I know what the answer is. The literal answer's in the deck somewhere. Are we done yet? Or is this cool?
Yeah.
Are we okay?
And
Are
then
we?
there's, I've got Batman. I've got to wait for Bruce to be the chooser. And that's the winning card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get those trump cards where you're like, my friend will always pick this one, so I'm just going to sit on it until it's their turn and steal the point from everyone.
And that is the thing that I actually thought was kind of interesting about this too, is that with the way the Y-axis cards were, there was nothing that felt like a silver bullet to anybody for me. Like, everything was kind of like, I might be able to use this in 3 or 4 different situations, but because they weren't quite as pop culture driven, there wasn't like, there's going to be a Godzilla one, I'm going to point it at Rocki, and it's going to work every time. The stuff was, dare I say it, because I can't believe I'm saying this about a game that wants to play in that adult party game space. It was just a bit more thinky than I kind of expected with the way their comedy writing went here.
Well, yeah, I think because you have to accommodate for the actual line on the graph as well. So, like, you might have something that's kind of funny, but the line's going the wrong way. Like, if it's age-related and it's peaking at, like, 40-year-olds and you've got something funny, but it would only apply to young people, and you're like, well, I can't play this because the chart's going to be backwards and it's not going to be funny. Like, so there's an extra, like you said, it's a little thinky component. You just have to be a little more aware than, like, just, oh, well, there's shocking words on this card. I will play those words, and people will be shocked at them regardless of content.
Yeah, and now that you say, there were a couple of times where, like, I did it, and I think some of the rest of y'all did it, where you're like, oh, this line is funny with that other line over there, and not taking the trend into account. And whoever the chooser is would say, this would be funny if the trend line was going the other way, but it's not, so you're wrong. And you're like, oh my goodness, this does kind of break the way Cards Against Humanity scoring works, where you're like, just throw the most ridiculous thing you have. It doesn't always work in this game.
And the one thing that I think that becomes a little more difficult with this one than with Cards Against Humanity is I know Cards Against Humanity has the blank cards, or you can fill in your own thing to be as, hip to your own group as you can. I feel like this one would be much more difficult to do that with if you're talking about creating a chart.
Yeah, so CHARTY Party does have in there, we just didn't get them, the super bonus round cards, where it just gives you a trend line and you do both the X and the Y axis yourself. So there are those available where it just hands you a trend line. But I do agree that's going to be a harder one to construct. And I think, like I said, I think the writing of these is a little more difficult. I think the writing of the cards is a little smarter than maybe I'd expected. And I don't know that you realize that till you start to play it and maybe even do like we're doing and start to autopsy it. And you're like, wow, that is
it definitely surprised us.
Yeah.
Like, I think all of us.
Yeah, I have to say, even being the one that pushed for this, this is an adult party game in the way in which when people say adult party games, they mean it, that I would gladly bring places. And that is kind of like, this will come to the 24-hour game-a-thon that right now as we speak hasn't happened, but when you hear it, will almost happen. Yeah,
It'll be close.
It'll be very close. Yeah. Tomorrow, we will be playing this.
Maybe.
Hopefully they didn't wait for our review.
And then
be really close.
It'll be a thing. But hey, if you're hearing this now and you want to try it, come out to Savage Mill, Maryland with us.
Bruce, they're definitely hearing this now.
Yeah, I suppose that is true, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're hearing this then, but it's now for them. It's then for us.
And it's the future for us now, but it'll be then for us then.
Now
will then be now.
Now we're getting very We're getting very Spaceballs now.
Yeah, now is the past for them.
Yes, Rocki?
You need to listen to me very closely.
Yes.
Don't blink. Okay.
So there you go. Would you take it to a party, Rocki?
Yes, I would. It was easy to learn. It had a lot of genuine laughter, and I hope there are expansions coming.
Me too. Marty?
Absolutely, because like you, there's a group of my substantive friends that are kind of burned out on the Cards Against Humanity, and this is like the perfect filler where it's still an adult topic, but it's not kind of like in your face about it, and it just naturally flows from the cards.
Mike?
Yeah, I would definitely bring this to a party. I'm not sure how many times I could bring it to the same group of people at a party.
Fair.
But I would bring it to, definitely, if people hadn't seen it before, I would absolutely bring it to them to introduce them to it, and I think they'd love it.
Brian?
Yeah, I would absolutely take it. It's fun. It's adult in the best sense of the word, not in the we use naughty words that we can't say in front of kids way, but like it's smart, it's fun, it's familiar but different enough to not be boring. The only downside is it needs expansions, but like, yeah, otherwise I would take it anywhere.
Also, an additional Brian?
Yeah, I would absolutely take this to a party. I feel like there was a point where we would always take Cards Against Humanity to parties because it played a lot of people and it was like the good stuff, like the hot game, right? I feel like this one, and if I could ever get an extra copy of Adliners,
Yeah.
being that
Good
it's
luck.
like from 1910 or whenever it was
Yeah.
made, back in the Stone Ages, this game would absolutely replace that, but I 100% agree with Mike's point that this is something that is going to be difficult to bring to the same group of people over and over again without expansions to really bolster the deck.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to make more to it. I'm just going to add on a little bit to what y'all said because I do agree that I definitely would take it to a party. What I like about this is your friends that need to play Cards Against Humanity, and we all have them, and we keep talking about them, well, that's all they play, and you're like, please stop. It's all just racist and sexist and homophobic and misogynistic. Why?
You're just being a board game snob. Why don't you like fun?
Yeah, exactly.
No one needs your obscure imported German games.
I need your obscure imported German.
Just the people that need to play Cards Against Humanity, and you want to move them, because if you're a gamer, you're normally like, I got to get them off of Cards Against Humanity. So you're like, well, let me introduce them to a party game that is in no way related to Cards Against Humanity, but is another party game. Let me show them just one. And they're like, no, I don't want to match words. I just want to throw cards down. I think this game can do it. You can bring this, and the rules are so similar, and the ideas are so close that you're not going to, like, upset the sensibilities of people where all they want to play is Cards Against Humanity, but you're not going to feel like a horrible person for having brought this. And I think that may be where CHARTY Party can catch games like Cards Against Humanity in the curves, is that for gamer nerds, for your friends that only play Cards Against Humanity, you can bring this and they won't say like, we don't play anything like that. You can show them the rules of this and they'll go, oh, it's Cards Against Humanity with charts. Yes. Okay, cool. And it will work. And I think those are the people I want to show this game to. So there you go. That was CHARTY Party. You can find them at CHARTY Party. They gave us this copy of CHARTY Party. We want to make sure you knew that. I also want to make sure I say CHARTY Party. As I want to enunciate it as strongly as I possibly can. It is not a Marty Party. It is a CHARTY Party.
Although I will be playing this out of my party.
Although he will be playing at his party. So at Marty's party, there'll be CHARTY Party. Exactly. We'll be back in just a minute for our party game clash where we play, let me make sure I get this right, Reiner Knizia's Clickbait.
I'm sorry, did you say Reiner Knizia's?
Reiner Knizia's Clickbait.
Gesundheit?
This is a box shaped like an arrow.
It's a box shaped like an arrow with Reiner Knizia's name on it. And also Big Potato Games. We'll be back in just a second to give you the Party Game Clash live play in just a moment.
Welcome to Amazing Discoveries. Hey guys and girls, Ron here for amazing discoveries in our product, Pocket Farkle. Do you want to take Farkle to your next party or golf outing, but you find standard-sized dice are just too darn big? No. Ladies and gentlemen, how will you fit your wallet, keys, checkbook, RFID blocking wallet, sash, pen, pencil, writing paper, cell phone, calculator, standard size regulation ABA bowling pin, and 6 standard size dice in your pocket all at one time? Well, the answer is you can't.
No.
And that's why I'm here today with Pocket Farkle. All the fun of Farkle with tiny dice, perfect for your next mountain climbing outing or to lose at nearly any social type event. So remember, the next time you need pocket-sized fun to take on a skydiving trip, remember amazing discoveries and think Pocket Farkle.
And welcome back to the Party Gamecast as we jump into the Party Game Clash.
Do we have a thing we say for this?
Long.
Like food?
Pew, pew, pew.
Nice. nice sound effect, Brian. So we're about to jump into a game from Big Potato Games. Let me pick it up again so I get it right.
Yeah.
This is Reiner Knizia. Yes, you may know him from games like Llama and Candy Camel Parade.
They do not know him from that game. They might know him from the game that actually
Through the desert.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you, having talked to other people, we were having a discussion about the most edible game pieces, and it did come up because there are new. I'll take just a second. Pardon me, listeners. We're going to take just a real brief aside. But I work for North Star Games, and North Star Games makes the Quacks of Quedlinburg. And BGG has recently made these cool little pieces for the Quacks of Quedlinburg. And they said, well, they're the most edible pieces to any game ever. And I said, no, if we're talking about the most edible game pieces ever, to which somebody said, there's that one Reiner Knizia game. And I said, oh, you mean Candy Camel Parade? And they said, yes, Candy Camel Parade.
I would also argue Futternight.
Yeah, I was going to
Thank
say
you.
Futternight.
Yeah, Futternight is literally food.
Well,
Yeah, it's
I
the
mean, it's
most
pictures
edible.
of food.
And then you're supposed to
in the
include
bo-
actual food.
Yeah, you really should. It changes the games.
Yeah.
We should bring that too.
Which,
We
if you've
should do
never
that this
heard of
year.
it, folks, there's a really obscure game that never came to the U.S. called Futternight that is a Freedom and Freeze game that actually you're supposed to use real candy bars.
Could have sworn we reviewed that.
We have
We
reviewed
did.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yes.
glisten back in the past, and you'll be able to hear our review of it.
Hey, Bruce, do you remember which episode number that was?
I
right off the top of your
don't.
head?
Four.
Just for the root
I don't at
listeners?
all. I would say go listen to them all, and eventually you will hear it.
It's one of the ones
Maybe.
from more than 3 years ago.
Yeah, I would say
Well,
go.
That's
go.
a safe bet.
Yeah, a lot of them are. So we're going to jump into this game. Comes the fine folks from Big Potato Games. It is in the shape of a giant arrow. It is called clickbait. It lets
is
me
from
know
Reiner
a
Knizia.
knowledge of English is in fact required. It says that 9 million games are to be sold. This is selling pointless products one trashy line at a time. And here's how it works. I'm going to host this one. 3 points wins the game. If not, I only have 8 cards that I'm going to use. So if we get to 8 cards and no one's won the game, then we're just going to, a bunch of people are going to win.
Are there more than 8 cards in the box?
There
I
are
hope?
many more than 8 cards in the box, but I've only pulled 8 cards out.
I don't want to misrepresent for people who
No, there are
listen to
many
us
more.
play and
No,
want
there
to buy
there are
it.
many more cards in the
Yeah,
box.
No,
there
Reiner
are
Knizia designed a game with only 8
there are
possibilities.
120 cards in the box.
Okay.
2 pads, 5 dice, which we'll get to in just a second, and an instruction sheet.
Okay. For people who want to have as much fun as we're about to have,
Yes.
they should not be misled into the value that they're getting for their money.
No, you're getting
You're
so
getting
much
not
more
8
value.
cards for whatever. $20
No,
or
I'm
this
only
spell
picking
costs.
8 cards because I decided this was the maximum number of cards that we should do on the show.
Yeah, we don't want this segment to drag on for too long.
Goodness knows we don't.
No, we don't ever diverge.
Sweet box.
It is a sweet,
is.
sweet.
It is an arrow.
Yeah,
It's
it is a
arrow
giant
box,
arrow.
yeah.
It's got to cost extra.
I'm going to show you a card with a picture on it, and it's a weird picture, and it's going to give you some sort of product, and then I'm going to roll 5 dice, and they are just dice with letters on them. Hey, Bruce, what do they look like? Hey, listener, have you ever seen a copy of Boggle? Pull out 5 of those, make them slightly bigger and more fun in the hand, and also make them neon yellow.
Yeah, I was about to say the yellow part.
Yeah, I don't want to, they're big and neon yellow, and they're just kind of fun to roll in the hand.
For a thing I'm going to stare at for a prolonged period of time, it's going to burn holes in my vision.
It very well may, I guess. I guess look at them quickly and then avert your gaze. Here we go.
No.
Wait, so do you want to explain how the game actually works?
Yeah, I'm going to read you the product that you're going to have to deal with. I'm going to roll these 5 dice. That's my dice rolling noise.
Yeah.
And they're going to come up with 5 different letters. You are allowed to write a clickbait headline to sell this particular product I'm going to talk to you about. You can use each of those letters to start a word. So your entire sales pitch is between 1 word and 5 words. You may not add any words unless you have the letters for them on the letter dice that I'm going to roll. Make sense?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to
Yeah.
do it that way as if we did not talk about the rules of the game ahead of time. Here we go.
We totally didn't.
No, this is all a surprise.
Nope.
Your first product,
Spontaneity.
it is a picture of two horses. One horse, I guess, lovingly kissing the other horse on the neck, but it looks like an angry bite.
Usually they're biting each other. That's what horses do.
Yeah, this looks like a real angry bite for a hickey remover. For a hickey remover. Is everybody ready? Hickey remover, your 5 letters are O, S, E, S, H. O-sesh. O, S, E, S, H. Okay? So now I'm going to have each of you pitch me your clickbait headline for this product, and then I'm going to choose which one I think is the winner. Okay? Rocki, start us off. It's a hickey remover, O-S-E-S-H.
Erase sexy shame.
Erase sexy shame.
Sexy shame.
Sexy shame. Okay, Marty.
Her suction overly enthusiastic. Saved.
Oh. Saved. Her
Wow.
overly enthusiastic suction, you say. Interesting.
Huh.
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know how to follow that.
I don't know how you're going to follow that either, Mike. But that is
We're done.
that
You know
is what you're going to
I
have
was
to
not
do.
ready for that.
Mike,
No?
your hickey remover.
Sensibly erase shameful hickeys. I mean,
Here's the good news, Mike. Here's the good news. No matter what you followed, that was going to be okay.
yeah.
At least you followed the power hitter, so there's no shame.
Yeah.
There's no shame in following that and being like, I don't know, it's kind of didn't. No, it's fine.
It was a base hit.
It was a
It's
solid base hit.
So we're saying Marty removed the shame from Mike's.
Yes, Marty did in fact remove the shame
Enthusiastically.
of Mike's suction.
Yeah, my suction was pretty bad.
It's
Yeah.
getting meta in here.
Hey, Brian, let's pretend you were trying to sell a hickey remover, but you could only use words that started with the first letters O-S-E-S and H. What would that sound like?
Sexy snafu. Hickey obscure.
Ooh, hickey obscure. I like it. Hey, additional and also Brian.
Hickey remover, helping everyone suck off shame.
Oh! I don't think that means
2 H's.
there's... Was there 2 H's?
No, hickey remover. was
Helping
the-
everyone suck off shame.
You heard him.
But the hickey remover is the
The
product.
hickey remover is the product.
Sometimes you got to say the product and then the clickbait line.
Shame,
I
shame,
see.
shame. I don't...
Yeah.
I don't know if that...
Oh.
I don't know.
I got I got like 2 that could maybe, but I'm not the judge, so.
You know what? I'll accept. If you have more entries while I've been talking...
I'm saying I know which 2 I liked best.
Yeah, I'm down to
Yeah.
Marty and Brian
I
on
knew
this
which
one.
3
Yes.
I didn't like as much as the
Yeah, exactly. So are we just going to award points to... Are we okay with me awarding points to both Marty and Brian? Are we,
I mean,
that's
I'm not
the
going to
normal
complain
rules.
about that.
You're the judge.
Yeah, you know what? And
The
it's
points don't
it's been a
matter.
long time since I've worried about this because we haven't had a game that people win. You know what? Yes, points for Marty, points for Brian.
As I recall, last time we played a game like this, you gave yourself points.
Yes,
so
because
this
I
is an
deserve
improvement.
them.
No,
Yeah.
you
It was
really
because I
didn't.
was the best around.
Yeah, so
How
No
Shane
one ever
McMahon of
gets
you.
sure.
Thank you. We're going to move into our second. Remember, 3 points wins this game. Here is our second item. The picture is, so they're like baguettes with the back part cut off so that they look like baguette loafers. Like loafers, like loafer shoes filled with just all the meat. Just all the meat you can find. And the product is sandwich shoes. So we're going to roll.
Heck of a roll.
It's a lot of roll. There's a lot of steps I have to roll them down.
You're
They're
rolling
big
for the
dice.
shoes made of rolls.
I am rolling for the shoes made of rolls. That's how I roll.
So
Oh, goodness.
Roll out.
Roll out.
man, I hope we got some R's or something so we can use R in our puns.
You did.
Roll.
MSRAP. Misrap. Hey, Marty. You did such a good job last time. Let's put you on the stage first. What are you doing for sandwich shoes?
I can't live up to the last one, but it's going to be artisan panini moccasin slippers.
You can't live up to that last one, Marty. Good note.
Hey, at least he's honest about
That is that is true. He was like, "Hey, I know exactly why you did this, but what's it come to go?" Mike.
MSRAP.
MSRAP.
My shoes require ample pastrami.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Is that like when you go to one of those delis and you get like the giant stacked pastrami sandwich? Except with shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need enough pastrami to fill my shoes, and I wear big shoes.
You do.
Have you seen my feet? That's going to take more pastrami.
Yeah.
I'll take... No. When I say all the pastrami, I don't mean
Go into
most
the
of the
back room.
pastrami.
How Ron Swanson of you.
Exactly. Hey, Brian.
Apparently.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Line that one up again. We'll throw it in one more time, Brian. All of this is staying in the episode, though. Hey,
Okay.
hey, Brian.
Yeah.
How are you gonna sell me these sandwich shoes?
Sandwich artist made paninis? I don't know.
That was a question mark. Maybe.
That's the confidence I have in my answer.
I'm
You're
sorry.
welcome.
Thank you. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Bruce.
What are we doing for this one?
Sandwich shoes. Should Reeboks and Panera mix?
Oh, should Reeboks and Panera mix? I don't know if that's going to make me buy it, though. It is a fine question you've asked.
It is awfully quick clickbaity. I'll give it
that. It is
that.
very clickbaity, but I don't know if it's selling it to me. Rocky?
Sandwich shoes. Snacks always packed.
I love your enthusiasm.
Thanks. You gotta sell it. That's the point, right?
Snacks always
Yeah.
packed, right?
Yeah.
Am I right, though?
It's catchy.
It is.
Rolls off the tongue.
I have one
And
that
true.
I have one that I definitely would vote for on this one, and it is not mine.
No, I think I'm going to have to give Mike the point on that one, and all by
Yeah.
yourself.
Because he does need that ample
Aw.
pastrami.
He needs
I
that
do need
ample pastrami.
I was just proud of the fact that I got to use the letters in the order you read them.
Yeah, that is well done. As a note for those of you following at home, there's a three-way tie. Mike, Marty, and Brian, also an additional Brian, each have a point, and Rocki and Brian do not. So it's a three-way tie for first.
Oh.
Are you saying we have a
gonna
couple
make-
people who are pointless?
I'm going to make myself a shirt that says also an additional
Oh,
Brian.
also
Just
an
a name
additional
tag.
Brian.
Hello, my name is also
So
an additional Brian.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I've decided this next one is one I'm super excited about. It is, there is just a guy, just a generic dude, in a room filled with party hats and boxes and glasses of champagne by himself, blowing on one of those party horns, as one tends to do, and it is just party games for one. Party games for one.
Bruce, what is happening with those dice?
It's you should
Yeah.
see the dice tower I'm throwing them down. Look at this thing. This is an unbelievable dice tower.
I thought we didn't have one of
We
those
don't have
anymore.
that. They don't care.
No.
Yeah.
The dice tower doesn't care. The dice tower, I can throw dice down.
Oh,
I like
okay.
that you're looking 6 feet up and to your left.
Yeah.
Or right.
It's,
Well,
a,
because
it's
it's
a dice
huge.
tower, not the
Tower.
dice tower.
Exactly. And the letters this time are A-T-I-F-C. A-T-I-F-C. Mike, you got the last point. Let's start out with you. Party games for one.
Party games for one.
Party games for one.
This con is a failure.
Oh, this con is a failure. Oh,
Oh, that's good.
Brian.
Alone? Fun celebration inside tub.
There is a fun celebration inside that tub.
Only if you're alone.
Only if you're alone, though. Also, an additional, Brian?
Party games for one. The antisocial introvert's favorite choice.
That is the antisocial introvert's favorite choice.
Might be his only choice.
Yeah. Hey, Rocky?
Sorry, I was distracted because Party Game Cat is eating a nacho cheese Pringle.
Well,
Nacho cheese?
Not
Nacho
cheese.
probably what they
Nacho cheese.
called nacho
Yeah.
cheese.
Who's cheap
Something that
Pringle is
waved.
it?
So
It's
called.
nacho cheese.
Something that waved by.
Alleged.
Yeah.
Vat
But
of
he's
cheese.
enjoying a Pringle from Japan.
So let's pretend for
Yes.
just a second
Yes.
that we were trying to sell party games for one.
Oh, okay.
And not to the
you're
cat.
And not to the cat. And the words you could sell it with would start
Okay.
with ATIFC. How would you do it?
Can't face teams, individual activity.
That's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredibly straightforward.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
A little on the nose.
It's awfully on the nose.
Well,
Hey, Marty?
Yeah.
ATIFC, how you doing it?
If friends are too cool, party games for one.
we put everything out of order. I'm just gonna take yours away. Here's what I'm gonna do. For no particular reason. There's no.
Are you
there's
gonna give
no
yourself a point again?
There's no storyline reason for me to do this. But Rocky's was straightforward, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give Rocky the point.
That's the beauty.
I'm
of
waiting.
The
I'm waiting until Bruce gets 3 points somehow.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
I expected him to get 3 points before we'd gotten through 3 cards.
No, not yet. Not this time.
We're on the second question.
Yeah,
How do you have
wait a
4?
minute.
With all the power comes all the responsibility.
Yeah, I award myself 3 points. Game over. Bye.
Peace. Right now it's a 4-way tie between Rocky, Mike, Marty, and also Brian, an additional Brian.
And Bruce is winning.
I don't like this recitation of the score every round because
Then
I feel
Why not?
excluded.
What's your problem?
Hey, you know how to fix this, Brian. Yeah. You know how to fix this, Brian. Score a point. Here we go. Here's our next card. So the picture is 2 people who look like they've had their heads photoshopped onto unrelated bodies. One with what appears to be a Star Trek lightsaber. That is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A Battlestar Galactica lightsaber.
No, that's a Cylon lightsaber.
I'm sorry. A Flash Gordon lightsaber.
It's Harry Potter. Get it right.
So one's got the wizarding wand of Ben Kenobi over one shoulder, just single wielding like a champ. The other guy has the Samuel L. Jackson double-sided. Who had the double-sided one?
That was Darth Maul.
Oh, okay, sure, that guy. He has the double-sided lightsaber, and this is what you're working on: is one-on-one lightsaber training. So let's roll these dice. Yep.
Is that code for something?
No, that's
Okay.
not. That's
What
not.
would it be
Nope.
code for?
No, we got. Wait a minute. I got one more. There we go. It is IDBMW. IDBMW.
It's almost like IMDb.
It is almost like IMDBMW.
Or
It's IMDb for cars.
Indeed.
it's IMDb just for German cars
Oh.
specifically.
I like it. However, that's not the game, Rocky.
Yes.
You were undeniably straightforward last time. Let's
Yes,
see how
yeah.
you're going to take care of 101 lightsaber training.
Do battle in mom's domicile.
Mom hates that.
She does.
Hey, Marty.
Do better in more weapons.
Oh, you could do better in more weapons. Hey, Mike.
Do it, Bruce. Win more.
Oh, you get no points. Brian.
B Mace Windu.
You know what?
Exclamation point.
You know what? That is simple. If I'm going by, B Mace Windu pops up, I'm at least curious. And goodness knows, I don't care at all about the Twilight Zone.
Hi, my name is Miss Mace Windu.
Also, an additional Brian.
Well, since we mentioned him before, blade wielding instructor Darth Maul.
Nice. Here's what I'm going to do. I like it short. I like it simple. It would have gotten my click. Brian, you're getting my point.
Short and simple, that's what I go for.
And you managed it. It's somehow a 5-way tie.
Who could have seen this coming?
Wow.
What a surprise.
We're at halftime. Everybody's got 1 point. Here we go. Next one. This picture is a perfectly average-looking Caucasian man with no shirt on
Oh my.
at all.
Did they
This
just take the
one's-
card from Adliners and put it in this
They
game?
might have taken the card from Madliners. And then up around his shoulder, he has a volleyball, but he's curling one arm as if he wants me to go to the gun show, but he doesn't exactly want me to go to
Wait,
the gun show.
hold on a second. Is he trying to Stone Cold stun that volleyball?
It actually looks like he's very gently about to stone cold stun the
Or
volleyball.
nuzzle it.
Yeah,
Sounds
also
like
possible.
The weirdest senior portrait.
It is a very strange senior portrait. And the
Get a double
product,
exposure, that one, yeah.
Oh,
the
he's just
product,
looking at himself.
I only wish it was that and then like a picture of his own cat in the ball. This is for naked volleyball classes.
Are the volleyballs naked?
However you want to interpret it, Mike. As I roll this whole handful of dice.
Like 8 times.
I want to make sure they're mixed, Mike. The letters you have are S, N, R, A, P, snrap. Hey, Brian. No, not
Which
also an
Brian?
additional Brian. Actual normal Brian.
Don't jump the gun there.
Hey now.
Brian with a Y.
There you go.
Oh.
You didn't hear him pronounce the Y?
He didn't pronounce it. It's like his pronunciation of CHARTY Party.
It was like my pronunciation of CHARTY Party. You could not hear the Y. Brian with the Y.
Ridiculously sexy nude athleticism.
Ridiculously sexy nude athleticism. That might get me to click. Brian with an I.
Abs, pecs, rolls, and sets.
Oh, good luck. Good luck to the rest of you. Rocki.
Nude sports always real pleasure.
Oh, well done. Marty.
Raw noobs practice spikes.
Oh, raw noobs do practice spikes.
Wow.
Hey, Mike, you have to follow that up. What's it sound like?
I don't want to follow that up. Can I go not after Marty anymore?
It's just the way the table's seated. I'm sorry. Sometimes the person to your right matters. What are you coming in with?
Pick a naked sport, rookie.
You pick a naked sport,
Rookie.
Marty, could you read yours one more time?
Raw noobs practice spikes.
Yeah, that's where our points go to.
Yeah.
Raw noobs do practice spikes, and Marty is 1 point away from winning. I don't know how you're going to stop him. I cannot imagine how this is going to go down. But no, I don't roll the dice yet. I read things. So
Well, I think Bruce is going to win. So
the picture.
That's how we're going to stop it.
The picture is like a cocker spaniel, appearing to chop what appears to be maybe a half-sawed board into pieces. The dog is also in an outfit you would normally see a 9-year-old kid at a karate studio wearing. The dog has a black belt, so you should beware of the dog. The dog's hands are registered weapons in 17 states.
Dogs don't have hands.
Which 17 states are those?
I'm not sure whichever ones which acknowledge that dogs have hands. As I have said, I know what I said, Brian, with a Y. This is martial arts. This is the martial arts course for dogs. Here we go, and there we go. That's just one. You don't like how I roll the dice? There you go. I'm gonna slam them down.
That was one die.
That was 5 dice. I slammed down angrily because I'm tired of hearing it.
Roll those adequately, Bruce.
No. There we go. It is AOLNFAO. LNF. Brian with an I, open us up on this one.
Fido's only Aikido ninja lessons.
Oh, but Fido's only. It sounds like a dating website.
Maybe that's how it starts.
Maybe that is how it starts. Rocki?
Fetch. Only lethal.
That's cute. Marty?
Free obedience and ninja lessons.
Oh, well done. Free obedience and ninja lessons. Tough to beat, Mike.
Little friends attack only ninjas.
Oh, little friends do attack only ninjas, I suppose, in that class.
Now, I like this answer so much, I actually have 2. Am I allowed to give 2, or do I just stick with the 1?
It's a bold move. Do you think one of them's going to win?
It might, but let's see. Let's see what
Okay,
you guys
so
think.
So then give me the worst of the 2 first.
Full ninjutsu accreditation. Learn online.
Nice. I don't know. What's your other one sound like?
Learn Fido Kwando.
Oh, that's the winner. Fido Kwando, give the point.
I mean,
Kwando.
There's a lot of hyphens. It starts with an F. Don't question it.
Fido Kwando.
Fido
Of course.
Kwando.
Fido Kwando. I'm rolling the dice. Here we go. We got 2 cards left.
What's the card?
So I'm about to describe the card to you.
What's the card?
So the card is, surprisingly enough, an average-looking Caucasian dude. A lot of them are. He has just the biggest goggles, just goggle glasses, just gigantic goggle glasses, and his mouth is agape.
Are they goggles or glasses?
They are definitely glasses, but they kind of remind you, and you're not going to get this reference, but I'm going to make it for you. If you ever watched Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 80s when he would take the
Telling
court,
me I'm not going to get that
I'm
reference.
telling Rocki she's not going to get that reference.
Is it the kind of sunglasses that like go over the top of your head, like those kind?
No, but like take a look. Like they're eyeglasses, but there's a whole lot of eye. Like they look like they should have windshield wipers.
Yeah, those are rather.
But he doesn't have the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar like the goggle things that he strapped to his head during the games to cover his glasses.
They look
but
like those chunky glasses that like hipstery people wear.
Yeah, but no. As a hipster that wears chunky glasses, these are chunkier.
Oh,
that is not the most hipster thing on that man's face. Though.
No, the most hipster thing is he's also got he's just rocking out just in a light blue what appears to be t-shirt, but also rocking out like a fine cool gray fedora.
Might be more of a trilby. It's hard to tell from this angle.
It's absolutely true. Yeah, and it is an IQ boosting fedora. I'm gonna roll these dice, and then here's what I'm gonna do: is I'm gonna take this one die here, and I'm just gonna move it to the letter M to help you out, because I think that's gonna be a lot of help with this one. So
why?
I personally would want an M. That's all I'm saying is if I were doing this, I would want a free M, because I feel like I could tether some things to an M. So you have MREFL.
Oh, nice. We got the L as well.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
also got the L. Yeah. That's an accident.
Actually,
I meant
with
to
the
give
M-
you the M.
Yeah, with the M and the L.
Yeah, with the M and the L.
I'm feeling double inspired again.
Are you feeling double inspired? That's
Little bit.
very inspired. So you know what? Okay, Brian. You know, if you're feeling double, if you're feeling all the inspired,
I mean, I am, and I'm high off my win from last round.
nice. So let's get you in here, man. Oh, as a quick note, let's just do the scores, Brian. Right now, Marty, Brian with a Y have 2. The rest of the board has 1.
Nice.
3 points is how you win this game. So here we go. Talk to me, Brian.
First one, regal egalitarian fashion, milady.
Oh, we got the milady. That's what I was looking. Bonus points for the milady.
And my other one
Yeah.
is for men's rights enlightenment.
Who knows?
Oh, we're getting
Your
topical?
second one killed your first one.
You're welcome.
Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, you pressed your luck too far. No points for you.
Flew too close to the sun on that.
Yeah, way too close. Your wings melted all over you and then weighed you down into the water.
I regret nothing.
Hey, Brian with an I.
Hey, Bruce.
Could you save us?
I can try. Save us, Y2J.
Please.
The IQ boosting fedora. I'll tip my cap. For milady requires enlightenment.
Ooh, here's what I'm going to do. Yours made me feel so much better after Brian's that I'm just going to give you a point. This has nothing to do with anything. I'm just so glad that we've watched the taste of his out of my mouth.
I don't like this.
Yeah, that's
at
a
all.
shame. Hey, Rocki.
Yeah.
Sell me this IQ fedora, would you?
Why? You already gave him a point.
No, I can hand as many points as I want. That extra. There might be another and additional point coming.
This whole thing has just made me so uncomfortable, and I'm glad my brain didn't go that direction because I am not enjoying it.
Okay, help me out.
Feel like real Einstein-y model. Yeah.
No.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I feel so bad about Brian's answer that I'm going to give you a point because I'm sorry about what he did. Thank you. We love you. Hey,
Yeah, I'm sorry what Brian did.
Yes.
The other.
No.
End edition.
That time he enunciated the Y.
Yeah, I did. I did everything I could to enunciate the Y.
I heard it.
Is it Brian or Brian? Brian?
Brian.
Brian.
Hey, Marty. How's this looking for you?
Friends love man's erudite recitation.
They might. Mike?
I feel better about following that.
Yes, you should. This wasn't. Marty sometimes takes him over the wall. He didn't take it over the wall this time. Mike?
Really loving enlightened men's fashion.
Really loving enlightened men's fashion. So here's how it goes. Brian with a Y has already caused all kinds of problems. Brian with an I got a point because it wasn't Brian with a Y anymore. We gave Rocki a point as reparations for what Brian with a Y did. It's just Marty and Mike competing for the actual point I give. I'm going to give it to Mike.
I wonder what that makes the score, Bruce.
The scores are a 5-way tie at 2.
Wow.
What are the chances?
What are the chances? And here we go with our final. This is the time. This is the big one. It's all on the line. The picture. This is going to be so difficult. So in the back is maybe it's a yurt. Maybe there's a yurt in the background.
Like our sponsor.
Like our sponsor, Power to the Meeple at powertothemeeple.com.
Not that sponsor this time.
Wonderful games, wonderful prices, powertothemeeple.com. And then in front of, I guess, this yurt is what appears to be maybe a holy man, holding a book. Looks like probably a religious book, holding the skull of a dinosaur in its claw, because it is a velociraptor. You are looking for the world's first dinosaur church. The world's first dinosaur church. Your letters are MREFL.
Did you roll the dice?
I was supposed to roll the dice. You know what? I've already said it. MREFL. Deal with it. MREFL. That's what you're doing. You're doing it again.
Those
It's the
sound
same-
familiar.
We'll do the same.
Yeah,
dice.
I left them and I read them,
We
so we're
can't-
going to deal with it.
Yeah, we can't go back. The
No,
magic
no,
of
it's
radio
already- I'm not
does
gonna do it.
Do
Allow for
dinosaurs-
editing.
MREFL.
Do dinosaurs say milady?
Do they wear
I mean,
fedoras?
they could.
If they need to for their first church,
Yeah, we can't know that they didn't because we don't have recordings of them.
no.
So,
Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself, Brian, with a Y.
oh, why do I need to redeem myself from all those
Just
awesome
read.
answers? Lord Megasaur's first reformed evangelical.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It
Yeah,
has a nice ring to it.
it does. I was about to say some things, so I don't want to get myself in trouble
Yeah, it-
about how that particular church might raise money.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it might. It sounds like it's in a shopping mall near you.
It certainly does.
All
Maybe
I know
actually
is
near
I'm
me.
holding the bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Brian with an I.
Follow my empowering Raptorian light.
Oh, Raptorian lights. Oh, I'm so in. I'm so in. Rocki, can you do better than Raptorian light? Okay, I like your confidence.
Yeah. Reptiles feel moral evangelical love.
I don't dislike it. Raptorian love is still really good, but
Yeah.
it's nice. Marty?
Fossils redeemed my everlasting life.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Wow, that is a good one. Hey, Mike.
Well, the problem is mine are kind of similar to a couple of other ones. I got two of them though.
Okay. Well, try
Two
me out. Hit
answers.
me with both of them.
What is who's allowed two?
Yeah. It seems like cheating, doesn't it?
I mean, apparently it backfires sometimes.
Yeah. So I've got everyone follow my reptile lord.
Nice.
Everyone, follow my reptile lord. Sorry, it sounded like the start of a song.
Pretty sure that's a death metal band.
Nice.
Yes.
I hope.
Reptile lord, it's got to be.
Oh, definitely.
And you can follow them on Twitter.
Yeah, at reptile lord.
And everyone should.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's got.
they're
We're gonna
probably-
have to find this out.
By the way, we do not actually know what at Reptile Lord is. Everyone's pulling out their phones in an emergency.
This is gonna be bad.
We're afraid we're going to have a terrible moment like WWE's had a couple times where they've named something and then realized it was a bad idea. So we're working on that right now. But if they're playing a show, I'm sure it's with no less than 25 other bands.
The Twitter handle Reptile Lord is someone named Robert. He joined August 2011, has 2 people following him, and he follows 1 person.
Okay, then I
Okay.
feel comfortable with
Well,
Reptile Lord, I guess.
I feel like we dodged a bullet there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. Okay, what's your second one, Mike?
Reptile evangelism makes life fun.
Oh, I would click on that. Reptile evangelism makes life fun. I like that. I like reptilian light. I'm going to give a point to Mike and a point to Brian with an I. We have 2 winners for this one.
No, Bruce, we have 3 winners because you got 3 points also.
Yes! I also win! That's exactly how it works. The players have awarded me the victory. Greatest in the world. Yeah!
The best in the world.
Bruce is doing a little dance and everything, guys.
I am.
You
I'm
should
so
see
happy
this.
about it. I feel like I've really been awarded this one. So there was Reiner Knizia's clickbait.
Can't get over that.
That is sure a thing that just happened. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to check us out on social media at Party Gamecast. If you want to support the show, you can at patreon.com/partygamecast. You can call us. We haven't gotten a lot of calls.
No, we haven't. We got a couple like early on when we started back up, and then we haven't really gotten any since then.
Yeah, we've gotten like maybe 2 since the last time we played them, and I was kind of hoping to get a couple more. So if you're out there and you'd like to hear yourself on the show, we would certainly love to play it. Call us at 30 Party Game, 30 PARTYGAME. You can leave off that last E for savings, but then when you do, it doesn't say Party Game anymore. It's Party Gam. So you can come to the Party Gams.
You sure it's not Party Jam with a...
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's
It's
Party
like
Gam.
the GIF GIF
I
argument.
don't, yeah, I
Gam
don't,
Jam.
Yeah, I don't. I think
No.
we've got it. I think we know how the Roaring '20s went, and I think just like then, it is the Party Games, I do believe, but it's the Party Games singular because if you had the S, you don't need that either, much like you don't need the E because you get it. You've done this before.
So
you
it's
understand.
Just one party gam.
It's just Party Games singular, just like
No,
one party.
There's
It's
a
30.
peg leg.
Yeah.
There's 30 of them.
Yeah, but there's
30
but
party gam. Oh, so the plural, it's like moose.
yes,
Yes.
One gam,
Yeah.
more than one
more
gam.
yeah,
Okay.
one gam,
We
more
need
gam.
more
A
gam.
party of gam.
Everyone
Yes.
needs more gam.
Is that the
bring
collectivism
me more
for that?
gam.
Bring me 30 more gam.
Yeah, I have one gam. Bring me 29 more gam. Exactly. Also, if you're out there, if you happen to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, reviewing us there helps a lot. Or I have to assume, because larger podcasts than ours say at the end of the show, review us on Apple Podcasts because it helps a lot. So I'm going to hope that is a thing that it does. So, hey, if you're out there, we'd certainly love to see it. We might start reading some of those reviews because I want to read things that make me cry in the worst way. So that...
Is it that
I'm going to
bad?
go make an iTunes account just for that.
Please do if you would. I would
Yeah.
certainly appreciate it.
Is it
really
even
hurtful.
iTunes anymore? Like,
I don't know.
It's Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
It is
there you
Apple
go.
yeah.
Go to Apple by make an Apple Podcasts account.
Though I still have
no.
iTunes on the computer and it still works, so I'm confused.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
we've legacied it. It's a whole thing. We're not going to
Okay.
worry about it right
Right.
now. Once again, we want to thank all the different networks we're a part of. We are part of Punchboard Media. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of that. Inverse Genius, inversegenius.com. I've been your moderator, Bruce. Joining me on the show.
Hola from Mexico.
Only people of high IQ listen to this show.
If you say so.
Fido Quando.
It's pronounced CHARTY party.
And thank you for listening. Marty, tell us about Charty Party.
Marty's Charty Party?
Yes, that's Marty's Charty Party.
Wow, 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 wow.
It's a Marty party.
It's a Marty party in here
With charts.
with charts. It's a Charty Marty party.
You said Charty, right?
I said Charty Party. So Marty, tell us how Charty Party works.